completely all other inner hindrances. In all my life, ever separate from perfect Guru, I enjoy the manifestation of Dharma by completing the greatly of the stages of the past. We I quickly attain the stage of Vajrayana. So this 我们在律师其实也在念同一个资本华语的诸公的
真的是如理一指，是道基，善了知己多策力，恭敬清净起家职。偶一得此暇满身，知己难得巨大义。遍诸昼夜恒无间，身取艰辛愿加持。生命动摇如水泡，速即坏灭当念死。死后如已随于行。黑白业果恒随逐，破定解已于罪具，罪诸小恶一应除，勤修一切妙善具，常不放逸起加持，暂持邪境令其灭，如理慈实真实义。清净意乐所引发，正念正知不放逸，圣教根本皆解脱，修为坚持起加持。如自沉默山有海，慈母众生悉如是。见以贺度众生旦，修菩提心愿加持。发心若不学三界，当至定不正菩提。故应勤发大精进。学菩萨戒起加持，邪净力熄灭，如理观察真实义，尽知双运道，速当升起愿加持，善修共道成法器，城中最正金刚乘，殊善丈夫圣道阶，愿速取入起加持，22种成就本。护卫定律三昧也，愿获真实决定解，入命守护起加持，次正通达续不兴，二次中药勤习习，四作一节不放慢，如师教修愿加持，愿说如是妙道师，即真修办坚固住，内外一切诸障碍。庶即熄灭起加持，愿一切生不舍离，善施受用正法力，圆满道地功，数正正位金刚持。刚才念诵是普贤道次第的功德本颂，现曼达。
no ba je jan da me ni le da le ba and then da lam je do da me ni da me ni ge da re bo
And the offering to Lama Geshe Soba for giving the teaching of Andhra practice. This is the first of a series.
no bo re bo je no bo
It's statement practice.
Lambo Rembo Je, Dajo Rembo Je, Maha Bumba Je, Ma Dewa Ma De Ma Ga No Ma De Be Ma Na Ze Ma De Ja Ye Ma Da Wa Rembo Je De Chole Namba De Ve Ja Yo bai jebe bade lama damba namda je pasan doa do shembe la do gona jeba namla jinga bewa je do re do
所说悉
Tene
尼康
jang da
达苏
zo
州
do wa
王
ma
给
ju
马
nam
南
di
康
da
达
da
三
sen je
千
nam
当
je
天
la
拉
do
主
ze
也
wa
真不可能真给
je
拉
je la
主。
do
哦，
a
阿
jin
弥陀给
yo Oh yeah. Yeah, so uh, refresh the refuge, those of you who have refuge, and those of you who haven't taken refuge, then simply understand one's true nature as a Buddha nature, and place one's conviction yeah, so before we start the session, take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then, on the basis of that, generate most beneficial motivation, simply dedicating entire one's existence, in particular this whole life, this very retreat, this very session, to be most beneficial for one's own temporary happiness, after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment, as well as the happiness of the rest of the numberless sentient beings, up to, actualizing them in state of full enlightenment. Sanye jana zoji jana ma jajo vadu dane jazu dane jeje jebe sona manye dola bende san dola jo sanye jana zoji jana ma jajo vadu dane jazu dane jeje jebe sona manye dola bende
Then a salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, who is the source of all the practices that we're going to engage during the retreat and all the Dharma discussions that we're going to share, all carry the lineage, unbroken lineage, uninterrupted lineage from ourselves all the way up to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha himself, whose blessings in the teaching and the practices not only makes our temporary human life most meaningful, but also bring the benefit for rest of the entire future lifetimes, all the way up to achieving totality of freedom, the entire limitations of samsara. And that also the ultimate intent of the Buddha to reveal any any skillful means of teachings entirely to the 84,000 Dharma, the teaching that revealed through different philosophical views, teaching that revealed in relation to different jhanas, different mental dispositions, ultimately intended for numberless sentient beings to actualize the perfection state of the six paramita as equal as Buddha himself, adorning with all the major and minor marks of the enlightened qualities, as well as all the wisdom, and such as the five wisdoms, and carrying altruistic, omniscient attitude, which is always being in the service, in the care of numberless sentient well-being. Now, for that, we first do salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Kamge duzene zone dawa dam deva bejere kambe jene duzene godam deva chase. Then on that, salutation to all the lineage gurus, who are the one that who kept the transmission alive, kept the lineage alive, up to today. Due to the lineage blessing, directly can cause ripening of our Buddha nature fully, until the state of awakening. So, a salutation to all the gurus. Yeah, okay. You want to summarize this? Translation, you will summarize this. Oh, yeah. Okay, take refuge, generate bodhicitta. Yeah. Bear can do. Bear. Take refuge, generate correct motivation of bodhicitta. Then salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, salutation to lineage gurus.
是因为是归他的因，并且是传承圣师的情形，以及现在。
Okay, thank you. So, okay, good morning to everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the land of Bodhicitta in Changsheng. So, just being here in relation to the name that which is, the label that is blessed by the omniscient gurus, like such as Kirtanama Subramanian, the names are given with a valid base, which is the basic, understanding of how things exist ultimately. The names are not simply given, there's a reason, a valid base. So therefore, giving a name, it's a land of Bodhicitta, as the late enlightened Guru, like Geshe Lama Poncho, the great Mahasiddha, when he visited this land, he says that anybody who conduct practice, especially practice of compassion, bodhicitta, is very easy to develop bodhicitta heart, and that emphasizes the correct base in order the omniscient Guru, like Kirtanama Subramanian, to level correctly. You see, so therefore, our coming here has a purpose. The ultimate purpose, whatever activities we do, the ultimate purpose is to actualize the bodhicitta. Yeah, thank you.
增宝元心灵这个地方呢，是菩提心的意思。那么这个名字呢，来自这个菩萨人，也就是说，这个已经有了空性的菩萨人的这个给予赐予的名字，那些已经通到切实的，这是存在的第四个，这些所谓已经见识得现的这个叫做菩萨。所以呢，这个它的名字呢，代表了一个这个非常深厚的菩提心的意思，真好决心，真好代表菩提心。这个呢，它也代表一个附在一个真实的，从今天的上所提出的真实的对事物了解的真实的现象的一种反应。所以我们无论在这里做的任何的行为、工作，它的目的呢是了悟我们真实的佛性，也是实现菩提心。
So since the omniscient ones see such conditions exist to facilitate those who aspire for enlightenment, then from our side, by creating those conducive inner conditions, such as investing our body, speech, and mind in the virtue in this place, being physically here, conducting virtuous, meritorious accumulations, like such as since morning, the preparatory practices, or like such as 6 preparatories or 7 limbs of practices, starting from firstly arranging extensive offerings, which is not only in the morning but throughout the day. There are sessions that we engage, making extensive flower offerings, light offerings, water bowl offerings, even in relation to the karma yoga, in between the teachings, in between the sessions, you have opportunity to engage all those practices. Then prostration, one of most powerful practice to purify physical toxics, mental, delusional, hallucinational limitations, such like great Lama Tsongkhapa, who is embodiment of Manjushri, whose main purification practice was performed through 35 Buddha's prostration. How many millions of prostration? So we cannot be contented with 3 days, how many rounds? 10 rounds, 20 rounds, 100 rounds. We cannot be contented with that. It is good that at least 3 days you dedicate, put diligent effort to practice them, but cannot be contented. Look at Lama Tsongkhapa, who is a direct embodiment of Manjushri, Buddha Manjushri. But as long as he took the emanation in the human body, then in order to purify, not necessarily he need to purify within, but in order to purify even the environment, to bring benefit to others, to benefit to the world, millions of long prostration in relation to 35 Buddha's practices. So for us, imitating them, following the footsteps of these masters, create inner condition to actualize the purpose of the land of bodhicitta, to actualize bodhicitta, So then there are many other practices, like including being in Dharma discourse. Being in Dharma discourse is not just like attending a normal class in the school. Just being in the Dharma discourse, the main benefit what we receive is inner wisdom. Even you may not understand what the teaching is going on, but you receive the blessing of the inner wisdom. Then you create a lot of merits. You actualize great purifications. So to have a meritorious condition to be in the Dharma discourse also serve as a accumulating inner conducive conditions to actualize bodhicitta. Then just rejoicing among each other, who are able to make it at least these few days in the midst of very busy life, with family responsibilities, jobs. But then when we think about jobs, family responsibilities, if you don't give some full stop or pause, it never ends. The more you engage in family responsibility, the greater it grows. The more you engage in business, it gets greater and greater, easier and easier. So there's no end to finishing, the worldly activities. If we don't know how to pull back and pause from it and try to dedicate our time to Dharma practice, there's no time to practice. Of course, the Dharma practice mainly is your heart, but we need to also directly accumulate the antidote that which can purify our body and speech also. So our speech also need to exercise. Our body also need to exercise in the Dharma. So that way, then all three doors effectively can able to bring purifications. You see. So therefore, your being here is not a holiday, normal holiday. Not a tourist. Not just ordinary leisure. You come here to have the true leisure, the true holiday, the real holiday. Holiday towards greater holidays. Holiday from samsara. Holiday from the bondage of karma, bondage of delusion, bondage of negativities. See, so therefore, you should feel rejoice about your merit to be here. Not easy to be here, You need a lot of merit. They will have hundreds of excuses why I shouldn't be here. Not easy. You have to remember that. Not easy. To go away from samsara, we have hundreds and hundreds of hallucinational false reasons, and we follow those reasons. We trust those reasons instead of trusting the reasons that given by Buddha, given by the Dharma, given by the gurus. You see, so therefore you should feel very fortunate, and you should understand that that I too can able to fulfill the objective of the land of bodhicitta within me, to able to actualize bodhicitta within you, you see, like that.
Hello， 喂，可以吗 ？Hello， 听到吗 ？Hello，Yes， 我说喂 ，OK， 哎呀 ，It's okay, I got it. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Yeah, those of you who are fixing the mic, meditate. What I said.
那么
Try to feel it.
在珍宝觉心灵这个地方呢，有外在修行的条件的地方，以及内在修行的地方。那么在外在条件呢，这些都是发心求解脱、求成佛人，我们为他们所准备的地方。Hello? I think they can hear me. I just talk like this. It's okay. Hello? That's fine. Maybe later on I do simultaneous translation. Next one. How about you don't need to be on the mic.
Sorry.
Hello?
来，不是这样子。这样子的。
OK.
来，你是这样子带的啊？
知道了。
是这样子带。
啊，知道。
啊，对，是这样子带的。啊。
Test. Hello?
OK，
OK，好了，可以听到吗？
掉了，
没关系。
给他拿，他直接拿走，
我拿出就好了呀。
拿出就好了。
那对在哪里？对在哪个
麦
？OK，that's good. Hello，
诶
OK，可以了。OK，
没有声音，没有
No
声音，没有声音。
some obstacle. Hello，我就这么讲吧，大家能听到吗？可以听到吗？我想可以，我就这样讲就好了。听到。
你拿给我看一下。Test, test, test. You don't hold your hand. You just hold it.
Hello，OK，OK。主要这边讲呢，从今天早上开始呢，我们有在这个中心给予我们是一个修行外在的因缘的一个具足的地方，而在我们自身呢，我们今天所做的，从早上我们内在的因缘呢，成熟这个内在的因缘，首先是起正确的动机，以善念、以善的这个发心来到这个道场，并且积极的投入各种善行和功德的事业，比如说从六加行、七支供养，首先在我们面前看到的广设的这些种种的供养。那么这一整天呢，我们用不同的时段去做供养，鲜花、灯供、水供。以前呢，在我们所谓 Karma Yoga 就是夜瑜伽在我们这个城市中心，在课上和座次之间都就给予我们很多的这个修持功德的机会。那么首先呢，另外呢，我们顶礼35佛的这个顶礼呢，它是一个积极的、有力的一个修行，它能戒除我们身体和心事的烦恼、污秽、种种的妄见和错觉。我们大成就者文殊菩萨的化身宗喀巴大师呢，也都是以35佛礼忏35佛，无数次的大礼拜，做了主要修行的这个修法、修行的这个主要功课。他顶礼了数百万计的35佛，所以你和我们不能满足于这个做这个1轮、3轮、20轮、3天，甚至100次大礼拜。我们应该这样升起一个如此的这个精进之心因此呢，在这个内在的部分呢，在这里具足我们成就体的这个内在的条件。你看宗喀巴大师他直接是文殊菩萨的示现，但是他是以人的身体出现在世间，他依然呢要以礼拜、忏悔自己来作为其资进账，利益众生、利益这个有情世界的方法。因此，我们也应该跟随着这些大成就者的脚步呢，一样的去修学，如理的创造内心的修行的条件。如果这样子呢，我们就可以在内心呢成就了菩提心之地的真正的目的，包括在这边闻法、修听闻佛法。其实听闻佛法本身呢，它不是像普通学校这样，不像坐在法会里。我们在这里呢，可以在内在的智慧的加持呢，这样子呢，借由这个内在智慧的加持，我们不单的不仅仅如果我们只是这么听它的内容，听不懂，但是我们如果获得借我们加行智慧的这个福报的加倍呢，我们可以能够了解法的内在内意，并且呢，借由听闻佛法的这个动作、这个行为，来累积庞大的资粮，更加的这个功德，庞大的功德。所以能够来到法会，诸位各位来到法会，来到这个闭关本身呢，就是一个修行，就是一个这个 所谓这个闭关是个非常的成就内在因缘的一个难得的机会。那么各位呢，在忙碌的生活中啊，有无数的家庭的责任、事业，能抽身来这里共修，其实是非常不容易。因此呢，要在内心中呢，对自己升起水洗。其实我们思考家庭责任、工作责任啊，如果你不时啊、及时的为自己画一个句号呢，它呢将是永止境的，它不会结束的。而且呢，世间啊，你越投入呢，它的这个缩补力呢，就是越大的增长。因此啊，我们呢要能学会呢及时的放下。因此呢，你们来到我们珍宝觉心灵这个佛法的大家庭呢，你们来呢不是来度假，也不是一般的消遣放松，而是呢你来享受真正的暇满人生，真正的假期。那么一个能引向最究竟假期是什么呢？是在轮回中的请假，是在业力老束缚中的请假，是在烦恼习气中牢笼中的这个解放，这才是真正的假期。所以，我们大家应该学会啊，随喜自己拥有的这个功德，能够今天放下一切来到这里修行，真的不容易。但是能来到这里修行，哪怕是一天1小时，也需要非常大的功德和善根。因为啊，我们往往呢总能找到成千上万的这个理由呢，说是现在来不方便，还有别的事情要做，我事情不做完。但是呢，要远离轮回呢，就必须面对无数虚妄的理由、幻觉般的借口。我们常常相信这是错误的，而不相信佛陀对我们讲的话。我们不听佛陀讲的话，却相信自己的谎言。所以啊，我们在座的每一位要感到无比的幸运，应该要心中升起一个决心：我在这里能够完成菩提心要的真正的修行，我能够在自己心中升起并种下菩提心。
So, if we limit the capabilities of this precious human life just within the taking care of the matters of worldly concern or businesses, family, friends. If we limit our capability just that, then our life becomes so small, smaller than the ants, become more tinier than the ants, or as equal as an ant. Then there's nothing special of having this human intelligence, having these human aggregates, human intelligence, you see. And on top of that, even we are in the positions of meeting the Buddha's teaching, being in the environment of teachings are lively preserved in learning, in practices. There are so many inspirational, examples lives among us whose life very much live according to the Bodhisattva's way of life. The examples are like our gurus, and even among us here, the number of people who live life like that. And yourself also not totally kind of against the Dharma or go away from Dharma. Just from time to time, there's interest arises, curiosity arises. Having this basic conducive environment, and if you don't bring out the maximum potential of our life, then life is, lived as meaningless. So therefore, to really to cross this border and be the other side, the altruistic side of world or living, make one's life as an ocean, as vast, as ocean, as infinite as a space, that our own legacy can able to remain the impact, the virtuous impact forever. And the impact is something reachable to entire rest of the numberless sentient beings. And that can be done when you cultivate bodhicitta. When you cultivate bodhicitta, that is the most effective way to overcome samsara, karma, even the root of the samsara, which is delusion. When you practice bodhicitta, you can cut the root of samsara, not just self-cherishing attitude, which is root of all the troubles, but root of that also self-grasping ignorant, and the bodhicitta can able to overcome. You see, bodhicitta is a two aspect: conventional bodhicitta, which is direct antidote to self-cherishing attitude. Ultimate bodhicitta is the direct antidote to the self-grasping ignorant. Not only able to eradicate samsara, but also it will help to eradicate the limited the state of liberation, such as the self-nirvana, for your own benefit. And you will come to a position that you have the energy, you have the resources, military resources, and courage, wisdom, to be able to be in the service of the rest of the numberless sentient beings well-being, even before becoming Buddha. So that much power the bodhicitta carries, So it is also most forceful causes and condition for enlightenment. It is also most forceful antidote to purify the limitations within and limitations in relation to all others.
那如果无法借恩惠良生命，只为了照顾是非事物、家庭、朋友、世间的享乐等，
那我们的生命呢就会变得非常渺小，甚至比蚂蚁还小，这个比蚂蚁还微不足道。其实我们这样子变得跟蚂蚁没有什么差别，这样的人生的智慧啊，人生的潜能又有什么真正的意义呢？这样的人生，再进一步说，我们如今呢能够遇到珍贵的佛法，并且呢能够在活生生的这个佛法中学习，在这个修持传承的环境中，能够持续清净的传承。其实，在我们的身边就有很多非常可以激励人心的例子啊。我们这边有很多的上师们、修行者，他们借由修行，他们的生活的方式和圣者的精神呢，已经十分的接近和相似。像我们所遇到的上师们，就是最好的典范。那么其实呢，在这个大众你们之间也有不少人正以这样的菩提心的这个范围心范呢，是在生活。即使有些人还没有完全的投入佛法，偶尔的分心，偶尔的迷茫，心中也许会升起，但是在心中呢，还是会对佛法有兴趣、有好奇、有向往。所以呢，可以这么说啊，我们今天能碰到佛法是一种顺缘。当我们持续这样的顺缘呢，我们如果不把
生命中最大的潜能发挥出来呢，那这个生命呢是真的变得那如何呢？我们把这个自我中心的人生跨到彼岸，跨到另外一边，跨过这个界限呢？那么进到利他的这个菩提心的那一边呢，让自己的生命像大海一样广大，像虚空一样的这种无量的虚空，让自己生命留下善的影响力，成为一个永恒的功德呢？这样子才能这个利益无量无边的众生。这一切呢，唯唯的要依靠菩提心的修持。菩提心呢，就是帮助我们从这个狭隘的自我跨到这个如大海般的这种扩大的这个心态，也是这个菩提心是最有力的，能断轮回、断除业力的唯一的根本方法，也就是轮回的一切的根本为烦恼。那能够断除这个烦恼最究竟的是菩提心的修持。所以菩提心不能断除一切痛苦之因，自私自利的心呢，并且能够断除这个自私自利心的更后面的根本，也就是无明的我执。这个菩提心有两种，一种是世俗菩提心，一种是圣义菩提心。而世俗菩提心呢，直接来对治自我中心；而圣义菩提心呢，能够对治这个无始以来的我执的无明。以菩提心修行，不仅能断除轮回，并且呢，能断除有限的涅槃，也就是说，这个小涅槃的状态。所以甚至在成佛之前呢，能够赋予我们无比的力量和勇气呢，去升起这样的利他的心。所以这是成佛最圆满的因缘，也是能够带给众生最有力的这个礼物——菩提心。
So the Buddhista has there are 3 points that beneficial to understand. The ultimate goal of Bodhicitta, the objective is enlightenment for all, self and rest of the sentient beings. The object is sentient being, numberless sentient being, not just our close one, not just humanity, but entire numberless sentient beings. The practice is very much the 6 paramita, the training that which we need to exercise in our day-to-day life is in the practice of 6 paramita.
所以菩提心修持的对象是众生。那么众生呢，不仅仅是所谓人类的众生，而是这个可以有情、六道有情。而这个修习菩提心的这个工具呢，就是六波罗蜜。所以我们在这边所行使的是六波罗蜜修行。
So through the true inspirational heart, Bodhicitta need to, Bodhicitta need to arise in our mind, in our thought. At least start with the motivational level, with the true attitude, true kind of mindsets. The first mindset is that I must achieve state of enlightenment. The second mindset is that state of enlightenment to be achieved for the benefit of the rest of the numberless sentients enlightenment. Or in another way, I must abide entire numberless sentient beings in state of full enlightenment. For that purpose, I must achieve a state of enlightenment. By understanding the limitation that one carry now, one do not have the ability of wisdom of omniscience to see all the different mental dispositions of these sentient beings, different subtle karma of the sentient being. So until you don't understand that, we won't be able to benefit effectively according Then, at the same time, having the conviction, understanding the qualities of the Buddha, like, such as the omniscient quality, the attitude, the enlightened, the great compassionate or altruistic, quality. Then the qualities of the power, qualities of the blessings that Buddha carries, without discrimination to all the sentient. So if I achieve that state, then I can benefit effectively to entire numberless sentient. For that purpose, then I must achieve Buddhahood. So first you start with the motivation, exercising motivation. Then eventually this motivation translates through the deeds of the six paramita, like practicing in generosity, practicing in morality, practicing in joyous effort, conducting virtues, practicing patience, practicing concentration and wisdom, like that.
在唯心如何在我们心中升起呢？分两个层次。首先呢，至少是在动机的层面上，就是一种真实的、正确的一种发心。第一个心态，两种心态。第一个心态是我必须成就佛的这样的决心。第二个心态呢，我要成佛是为了对无量的无边一切众生。换句话说呢，就是众生还在受苦，我愿意留在世间利益他们，因为如此，我必须要成佛，我成就佛陀后，我才能利益他们。当然了，我们理解到我们现在的局限，我们目前不具智慧，不具
骗知的智慧。什么叫做骗知？骗知是同时可以洞察无量众生各自的心性，这个叫做骗知也是我们中文叫神通。因为我们无法测见众生未来的各种果报所以我们必须呢，唯有成佛。那因此，为什么要成佛呢？因为只有成佛，才能真正的利益到一切的众生那么发起这个要成佛，我们必须要了解。因此，要成佛呢，我们首先要去了解佛陀的功德，像佛陀的遍智的智慧，他的那种平等、无边慈悲、觉悟、大威德、大能力、大加持，这些呢都是不分对象的，可以去利益一切有情的。我们要去成就像佛陀一样这样的一个威德呢，所以呢，我们要发起决心，我们必须有效，为了能够有效的去利益无量众生，及时有效的利益无量众生，我必须成佛。只有成佛培养，只有成佛才能做到这个目的。所以第一个动机呢是借由发心，接着呢就是通过六波罗蜜的行为所谓通过布施、持戒、忍辱、精进、禅定、智慧这个六波罗蜜，慢慢把一切的我们的行为呢都变成圆满的菩萨行为。
On the basis of understanding that attaining the qualities of the Buddha is the most effective benefit to all sentient beings, ultimate benefit. Now you ask yourself the question: Do I really have the potential to achieve that state or not? Yeah, I understand that Buddha is the most beneficial to the sentient being. Buddha's qualities are the most effective benefit to the sentient being. Yeah, it sounds that it's really important to achieve that state. But do I have capability to achieve that or not? Then the answer is yes, I definitely have the capability to achieve that. The proof of that is that your true being, your true potential is Buddha potential. You have the Tathagata essence. You have the Buddha nature. Buddhahood is very much a state of perfections of wisdom and attitude, artistic wisdom and attitude. The state of most perfected bodhicitta is called the Buddhahood. Even in this ordinary person, even me, most of the time get angry, have desire, selfish thought, and hardly even, perform virtues, accidentally, how say it? Most of the time, away from virtues. Even in such persons, continue. The main potential is Buddha potential. It's your true being, your innate being. That is very much the wholeness of yourself. The rest of the limitations or the contaminated aggregates of samsara, all the negative experiences that we go through in life, including the delusion, ignorance, are all temporal, all came later, and all circumstantial, not innate. The innate value, the innate potential of ourselves is no different than the Buddha. The only difference is at the moment, our potential is not fully awakened, not fully utilized, not fully aware, not really use it fully. We are very much caught up with full function of the distractions of delusions and negatives, negative circumstances. Otherwise, I am no different than the Buddha. We carry that potential. We carry the attitude-wise the innate attitude is loving, compassionate, bodhicitta attitude. Our innate wisdom is the Dharmakaya wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness. You see, so therefore, this is the proof. This is the reason. I can achieve that state of Buddhahood, which is most beneficial for my own, perfection as well as the perfection of the rest of the noble sentient beings. Close what?
You want me to off their phone?
做的像佛陀一样呢？那我们看到我们现在这个俗世的这个人生也就像我就说像我呢也是充满这个很多的贪嗔痴我们贪嗔痴我这个我懂我知道要像我真的有可能成佛吗？我知道这佛陀的功德是能利益众生的，成佛听起来非常重要，但是我怎么能做到呢？其实答案是呢，是有的，我们可以。那是为什么这么说？其实呢，每个人呢，在心里都有最真实的这个本质佛性，这个如来藏的佛性，你根本的潜能，这个如来藏呢，是在它是活的生在所有的众生心中都有这个如来藏，也就是佛果，它是智慧和心圆满的这个最究竟的菩提心和究竟智慧成就的状况如来藏。 那就像我这个凡夫之身，我们常常生气、不起贪念、执着啊，要做好事、善行呢，也就是偶然而已。很多时候呢，会远远偏离这个善行。但是呢，无论如何，我们是怎么样外在，我们根本这个如来藏的内心的本性呢，就是佛性。所以一切的这个轮回的习性、负面烦恼无明，其实它都是暂时的，它是后生的，它并不是我们本来的，我们叫做本然智慧，它并不是我们的本然。因此，我们和佛唯一的差别呢，就是我们这个本然呢，还尚未觉醒，尚未被充分利用，尚未被完全的认知，还有呢，尚未善巧的应用。一旦我们认知到现在这个，我们暂时被烦恼、妄想、环境牵着走，其实呢，除此之外，我们也可以跟佛是一模一样。所以呢，因此呢，这个理由啊，我们内心本具的态度呢，慈悲、菩提心、空正见，它就是我们本来的这个佛性。所以呢，为了成就自己的圆满，也为了能够成就无量众生的圆满，必须发起为愿众生愿成佛、愿成佛的这个发愿。
So then,
About the request of the Sun Society, the request and the request of the group for during the teaching session, because all of our microphone are wireless and all data is very interrupting and it's very difficult and non-stop. We will use direct people contributors during the teaching session. Thank you. 只是被这个上课期间，因为那个我的这个干扰那个系统干扰之前。
So then, what are the main method to awaken this, the true potential that we have, the Buddha potential we have? The methods are, as mentioned before, the 6 paramita. What is the use of 6 paramita? The 6 parameters are very much, the first 5 parameters is a method aspect of the path. The number 6 is a wisdom aspect of the path. So in another word, through the accumulations of merit of method, through the 5 parameters, and accumulations of merit of wisdom by the number 6 parameter, you will able to awaken our true nature by eliminating 2 main obstacles. The self-cherishing attitude, self-centered attitude, which is one of major obstacles, and self-grasping ignorance, the hallucinational view, the wrong view. The wrong view in relation to what to be adopted, what not to be adopted, wrong view in relation to understanding the ultimate truth about self and phenomena, wrong view about even the cultivations of karmic law, cause and effect, even wrong view about about what kind of refuge should be taken, So, in order to eliminate these wrong views, you need the wisdom, to wisdom as an antidote. Then there are so many attitudes, wrong attitudes. Gathering happiness in the expense of others' suffering. To fulfill the serving to fulfill the 8 worldly concerns, caught up a life very much in the service of the ignorance demand, the delusional demand, the demand of anger. Whenever anger comes in your way, and you are completely like submitting yourself to do according with what anger asks us to do. When attachment arises, the similar way. When jealousy arises, similar way. When laziness arises, the similar way. Just completely without, like we take total refuge in them. Without even questioning, are you guiding me the right way or not? When anger comes, have you ever asked question? Are you really trying to do this to help me? We never ask question. But we did ask question that someone asked to take refuge in Buddha. He said, don't know whether I'm ready to take refuge or not. Asked to take refuge in Bodhicitta. He said, don't know whether I can practice or not. Asked to cultivate the wisdom of no self. They say, oh no, then I may disappear, etc., etc. So is it that? You see, as I mentioned earlier, even just for 3 days retreat, we almost follow the guidance of distractions. It's quite a miracle that some of you are able to pull out. It's really like a miracle, all of us, including me. I have thousands of reasons not to come here. But then all those thousands of reasons are all distraction. Compared to the meaning that I can achieve here within 2 to 3 days, is a meaningless. You see? So, so through developing wisdom and right attitude, through correct guidance, with correct reliance, correct guidance and correct reliance, then influenced by correct environment, and with certain discipline, that which will make you to stay on the path consistently. This is the way how to bring fully awakening of our true potential, or the Buddha potential.
修行的方法，六波罗蜜修行的方法，我们讲的中文叫六度。六度的作用是什么呢？六度的它这个是前5度呢是方法的资源，第6度般若呢是智慧的资源。也就是说呢，5度呢累积了方便的福德，而般若呢累积智慧的福德。那么最终呢，以6度的修行来唤起刚才讲的本然、本觉的佛性，叫做本然。在这个过程中呢，我们必须断除2大的根本障。
这过程中必须要断除2大的根本障碍。第一个呢是我爱执，也就是自私自利的心，它最主要的是烦恼的根源之一是这个我执。第二呢是我执无明，这个无明是由错误认知所产生的幻觉，对事物、对究竟事物的见解，一种错误的认知。我执无明包括很多，我们中文叫做颠倒见。那错误理解呢，是什么是该取的，什么是应该舍离的。错误了解了自己和万法究竟的真相，并且呢，对因果业报的误解，甚至对什么才是真正可以皈依都能搞错的这种颠倒见为什么会 这个译者加的一句，就是为什么我们会看到说会有归因味道这种现象，处于一种根本的颠倒见。那么断除这种错误见解呢，必须依靠智慧的修行。那么同时呢，我们会被很多错误的颠倒见呢所控制，包括呢比如说包括为了自己的快乐不惜伤害别人，为了满足世间八法八风顺从无明憎恨贪欲嫉妒懒惰当我们愤怒升起的时候呢，完全被它所控制这个愤怒我们一旦升起无论他要我做什么，我们就做什么。毫不自意的会这么做，从来我们不会停下来问你说，哎，对哦，你要干嘛？你是在帮助我吗？我应该跟着你吗？对贪心嫉妒对这个懒惰往往我们都是受他们所控制。我们几乎呢把烦恼当做我们的皈依处，毫不犹豫的跟着烦恼走。所以当我们要皈依佛陀时候呢，反而我们会犹豫我不确定我今天要不要皈依我确不确定我已经准备好了，我不知道怎么修反正很多理由，就像我一样，我有很多的理由不要来到这边在这个哪怕这个短短的修行中，我们几乎呢都是不由自主的跟着烦恼走。因此，这个烦恼的力量可以说是不可思议，而正法的力量却是微微不可、微微微薄的可怜。因此呢，要具备正确的心态，再加上符合一个正确的意识，依靠一个正确的善知识，我们在一个善良的修行环境中呢，受到熏陶之后呢，并保持一定的程度的戒律和自我的约束呢，慢慢的、继续的、稳定的，在这个修行的路上前进。那如果我能够具备这样的条件呢，这样才能使我们本然的智慧完全的觉醒。
So then, so even though, all of us, we're very much already practicing certain element of all this, six parameters, certain elements. Very obvious that all of us, in one or another way, practice generosity, live a moral, moral life, moral ethics, and we have certain, heart of joyous to cultivate virtuous, joyous effort. Then try our very best to be patient when the situation, inconvenient situation arises in our life. Then also try our very best to be mindful in relation to the deeds of our three doors, and also try to be, even one haven't introduced to Buddhist teaching, but then most of very much all of you, you are introduced to science. So when it's very much, there's a basic understanding of interdependency. So there's an element already practicing of these tools, but the committed practice and pure practice, and practice consistently is, many of us, like me, we don't have that. And the committed, consistent practice kickstart when you take refuge. It's supposed to be like that. When you take refuge, then your seriousness on the path is supposed to be kickstart. But then for some, maybe even after take refuge, may not be consistent in practice. Still we may still follow wrong teachers, wrong guide, rely on wrong dharma, and continue to associate, continue to be in the wrong environment or people, negative friends. So therefore, refreshing refuge, even those of us who already have refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and those who not yet taken refuge, and are most important, for at least for your own protection, for your own benefit, then taking refuge is must start without delay. In order to make everything sensible and everything make it firm on the path.
不得力的修行，你在这边因为很多已经在修行，在深入修行，比如说可能在各方面，喜欢精进、欢喜修行，这个非常重要的基础。我们其实也尽量的对待我们的修行人路，当在生活中出现任何的不方便、意见、困难的时候呢，也尽量对他人保持关照和正念，这些都是我们生活中修行不功利的方法。那么还有很多呢，他并没有还没有接受完整的教导，但是大家都在科学中已经知道缘起相互相依赖的，这些呢都是修行的种子。那么我们通常缺乏的是呢，包括我自己在内的一种纯正的、持续性的对修行的承诺。在理论上呢，这种承诺是从哪里来呢？其实呢，从皈依的时候开始。当我们皈依佛法僧三宝的时候呢，也就是我们对修行呢启发的一种认真的态度。所以但现实的是，很多人即使皈依之后呢，依然没有保持稳定的修行，可能呢继续追随错误的教导、错误的师友，听到不正确的法并且在一种负面的、有害的环境中，不善的这个善友相助呢，都会污染皈依。因此呢，时不时呢重新稳固、刷新这个皈依呢非常重要，特别是甚至对已经皈依的人，如果再次的这个纯正的内心中去升起皈依呢，这个皈依呢其实是首要之事，至少能保护自己、避免自己的。因此呢，这个皈依呢不应该再次任何的拖延。当我们一旦发起要认真解脱轮回、认真修行呢，开始呢，以皈依开始，这样呢可以把修行变得稳定然后扎根在正道的这个基础上，重新的建立一个正确的这个基础。
Yeah. So therefore, no question about beginner, even to the advanced practitioners. Practice of refuge is always there. even those of the tantric, high yogic tantric practitioner, the main manual of practice is the sadhana. You look at the sadhana, the 50% or more is preliminary practices. At the beginning, like refuge, bodhicitta, and at the end, very much the Vajrasattva practices. There's no sadhana which don't have the major element of ngondo or preliminary or preparatory practice. You see, so even though refuge practice and there are like 4 major ngondo or preliminary, or 6 ngondo or preliminary, 12 different kinds of ngondo or preliminaries. The name given preliminary, preparatory, but actually these are very much the main body practice. These practices are practice central of the heart, even those of the 10 Bhumi Bodhisattvas, even those of the great Mahasiddhas who are conducting lifelong retreat. The majority of their time, they spend time accumulating ngondos, engaging ngondos. So no question for the newcomers, no question by people like immature practitioner like me. You see, without ngondo, I cannot survive on the path. Without ngondo, without preliminary, proper preliminary, consistent, continuous preliminary practices, there's no space for me to improve. There's no tool for me to purify the obstacle on the path and have the merit to progress on the path. And will not even have the wisdom to recognize even the path comes in your way. The realization are developing in your way. You will not have a kind of a tool to access them or receive them, or welcome them, you see. So therefore, ngondo practices is the utmost important. That start with the practice of refuge. So therefore, even the name given from the 4 major ngondo, the starting point, refuge as a preparatory practice of planting the seed of enlightenment. So here you need to understand, you see, earlier mentioned that we already have a Buddha potential, means we already have a Buddha seed within us. But that seed is like kind of wrapped in a very, very tough, rusted iron box. So seed is there, but seed is no way can sprout. So when you start the practice of refuge, giving the name, traditionally given name, planting the seed means you break the shell or break the husk, and now perfectly in the conducive environment you plant it. Means that's the starting point of growing towards the awakening state of our Buddha potential. Then the second one is a Vajrasattva practice. In order to, on the way the seed is growing, always encounter obstacles. Even in the normal crops, how many weeds that we need to take out. Without planning, there are so many weeds out there. So without asking, in our mental continuum, there's so many weeds of delusions that dirts we need to clean up, obstacles we need to overcome, and in order to seed to grow steadily, and you have to keep cleaning, clearing obstacles, clearing those weeds. For that, then the practice of Vajrasattva. So you have the proper seed planted on the ground, and you also continue to clear all the obstacles. But then if you don't plant water, if you don't put fertilizers, if you don't timely expose to the sun, the seed will not grow effectively, you see. So then for that, merit is the one that after clearing obstacle, you need the meritorious condition to progress steadily of our spiritual, potential. So for that, then we need to accumulate merit. And following the footstep of our past lineage masters, for us, like up to Kyabche Lama Soparimpoche, like someone that whose major time spent doing refuge practice, Vajrasattva practice, mandala offering. And mandala offering is quite inconvenient because you need to carry the mandala set. So in the teachings of all the four traditions, and for us here, directly in the teaching of Lama Tsongkhapa, just doing mala, just doing hand mudra is not good enough. We need to have the mandala base. There are great significance of having them. So like Kyabche Lama Soparimpoche, one small suitcase is actually a mandala with a big one and very heavy, and you all know he always travel, a few boxes of text because that's his very much his life with the text, and he's like everywhere, So the one box, one of suitcase is mandala offering. You see, and every day, we know like Kyabche Lama Soparimpoche's day-to-day program. Even though he don't sleep at all, he works 24 hours. But within that 24 hours, how busy he is, at least 1 hour or more, he would just dedicate doing mandala offering. And I saw that my late master, both Geshe Lama Kuncho, like Lama Lundu, all the grand masters from the Sera, to whom that witness day to day their life, they never missed out all these models. Some of the masters in Sera, they are so busy teaching very much day and night, but they perform these models. You see, so in short, the mandala offering to accumulate merit. Now, the fourth one is Guru Yoga practice. The Guru is the nearest between you and the deity. You and all the practices. If you want to have the blessing of transmission, Guru is the one who channels the transmission. If we want to enter into the tantric, most profound secret mantra practices, especially high Sukhi Tantra, without Guru initiating you, there's no access to the mandala. You see, then Guru is the greatest source of merit, the most powerful source of merit. Due to this reason, even given the title, the Guru is the foundation of all our good qualities. Guru is the cause of our enlightenment. Guru is the liberator of us. You see, so another reason is Guru is embodiment of the three-time Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. You see, the deities, Dharma protectors. So Guru is the one that has all the blessings, all the qualities of the three-time Buddhas. At the same time, Guru is the only living person we can access directly, through our ordinary lenses, through our ordinary eyes, through our ordinary, mind. You see, all the other Buddhas, to direct access, we need to have so many different requirements. You see, like Shakyamuni Buddha, even though it's a Nirmana Kaya aspect of Buddha, who is karmically, make closest to have a direct contact with, Buddha's holy body. But for us, we didn't. I don't know about you, but I didn't meet Buddha directly. I was somewhere in the Vajra hell then, maybe somewhere in the animal realm, or I don't know. When Buddha came 2,600 years ago, I'm not the one of the 5 disciples. Maybe some of you may be, So now, even for that, you need tremendous merit that accumulated in the past lifetime. Like how now, whatever merit we are accumulating through practice of Dharma will create the causes, even in case if we don't enlighten within this very lifetime or within the time of Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching alive, then we will be born as the first, among the first disciples when Maitreya Buddha comes into this world. So similar to be within the presence of Shakyamuni Buddha, we had to practice greatly in the past, you see. So now, in order to have a direct vision, direct communication, person to person with Sambhogakaya Buddha, you need to be minimum Arya Bodhisattvas. You need to have a direct realization of emptiness. Your bodhicitta has to be fully matured. Then you have a direct access. That kind of requirement, you see. Now, Dharmakaya, you need to become Buddha to have a direct access to Dharmakaya. Only the Dharmakaya wisdom can have a direct access to the Dharmakaya of the other person. You see, so you need to become Buddha. Now, in relation to Guru, even you come with completely emotional crisis of delusion also, you can access to Guru. You can hear the Gurus. You can hear the same teaching that what Buddha would teach. You see, no need to wear any polarized or any fashionable glasses. You can directly see the Guru, you know. And you don't need to have any earplug. You can directly hear different sophisticated AI kind of made earplug. No need that. You just use ordinary ear. You can hear the Guru. You see, and you can able to see the Guru with equal level of yourself in that kind of manifestation. And that understood the Guru comparing to the compassion, comparing to the kindness, even though, you know, Buddha has no limitation in kindness, but comparing in relation to our limitation, then the Guru is kinder than all the three times. Yeah, understood, you see. So therefore, when you cultivate Guru Yoga, when you success in Guru Yoga practice, then the blessings of the deities are, you know, like without asking, you know, comes in your way. Like realization on generation stage, you know, becoming a deity naturally comes in your way. Then actualizing entire completion stages of including awakening in the clear light within that very lifetime, make possible because of the Guru Yoga practice, you see. So these are called the four major mondo. You know, all our past lineage gurus have performed that. And this is something that here we start, you know, I'm sure many individuals, you have performed your mondo before. But as I mentioned before, mondo is something that we have to repeatedly practice, you know, until we gain enlightenment, you see. So it is for everybody. And the mondo teaching, usually the mondo retreats are, you know, kickstart after receiving, you know, guidance, you know, mondo transmission. That's why even in Tibetan name as a mondo teaching sheet, you know, four major mondo transmissions. So it's very much like, you know, like retreat form, like what we are doing here, even though it's just 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, we have a, you know, teaching and encouragement and transmission together, especially by refreshing those who already have refuge and those of the new one, you know, you freshly take the refuge. And then from there, then very much you start retreat from here. Then, you know, we are not going to do a strict retreat. So we're going to do an open retreat. Means without impacting any of your normal responsibility in your ordinary life, you know, job, family, you know, nothing is going to affect. Simply, I think minimum require maybe 5 minutes of your time a day to remember Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. You know, okay. I have one question, but okay, sorry.
那么，前面的几步呢，我们心中每个人都有具足的佛性，就是本人。心中有个佛的种子，那这个种子呢，就像封在一个又硬又生锈的铁盒子里面。种子虽然在，但没有办法这个发芽。所以，当我们开始学皈依的时候，这个传统上呢称为种子薄荷植入阵地，意思说，你把这个铁盒打开，把种子放在一个最适合发芽的干净的地方。这个呢，就是修行的第一个起点，也就是皈依。第二步呢是金刚萨埵的修法。这个种子在成长过程中呢，是碰到很多的障碍麻烦，就像庄稼一样，田这个种子还没有种呢，杂草先长出来的。因此，在我们心相续中充满了各种杂草、烦恼、妄想、业障。为了让这个种子可以稳稳的长大呢，我们必须除草清障。这个清障的法门呢，就是依靠金刚萨埵的修法。所以皈依呢，是正确的植入灵性之种，而金刚萨埵呢，是清除障碍。但是呢，如果你这个耕了田，放了种子，但你没有浇水、不施肥、不让阳光射照呢，这个种子呢还是不会健康长大。这个时候呢，也就是资粮和福报呢，也就是需要功德。那么功德是滋养种子水分、养阳光最重要的，是让我们的佛性能够稳步成长的那我们佛性可以稳步成长，是为功德。因此呢，我们必须要得以其功德，修行功德。像我们的传承的祖师，包括我们上师受到仁波切，像是仁波切一生中的两个修法，就是皈依和金刚萨埵以及曼达的供养。那么，其实修曼达的这个供养看起来很麻烦的，但你要摆这供盘，这个米盘这个就是蛮重的。这个，所以萨教派的传承都一直强调，不仅仅念做短经验是不够的，必须要去曼达。那我们在我们这个传承中呢，是更加重要。受到仁波切经常看到我们家走到哪里，行李中都带一个又大又重的曼达盘。他呢，看着盘呢，他的其实非常感动的仁波切呢，几乎是一天24小时都不睡觉的，都在工作一生。他至少，虽然他这么忙，他每天至少1个小时呢修曼达供养。我亲眼见了很多大上师，像受到仁波切，还有我的上师这个就是那库丘，他们呢成天的忙着教法，无法做事业，却从来不断他的曼达供。所以总而言之曼达供养是圆满功德滋养关键的一个修法。所以这个四加行的这个第二个加行是曼达供曼达那么如果呢，我们这个那么经过曼达再下来第4步呢，我们想进入密圣的修行，尤其是深奥的上一节首先根本的原则就是需要丧失。没有丧失是一贯顶的，是绝对无法进入归正之门的。所以丧失是我们最大的语言，也是最强而有力的功德的根源。所以经论上才说，丧失是解功德之本，丧失不是我们成佛的因，也是成佛的引导者而且丧失它是30诸佛的总集。三法总集、本尊的总集以及护法总集。那么最重要、上师最珍贵的地方呢？最重要的是上师是我们唯一，我们用凡夫的肉眼可以用我们的身体可以接触到的。那么其他的诸佛呢？我们要能见到、亲眼见到其他的诸佛，需要极大的因缘和福报。比如说，释迦牟尼佛虽然他有化身的成就呢，但是他 这个在这个世间的时候是极具深厚圣根的人呢，才能碰到他的这个尊严。像我当然没有碰到佛，那时候可能在地狱中流浪，我也不是佛陀的五位这个五大弟子。你要作为佛陀的五大弟子，也需要累积无数量劫的这个大福报。所以同样来理，同理，我们今生所修行所累积的功德，也决定未来是否我们可以在弥勒佛降世的时候，能够成为他第一批的弟子。也就是说，能够成为这个报身佛。一般呢，要能亲见报身佛，至少是要修到圣者果位的菩萨位的这些菩萨，才能亲眼见到报身佛。他需要这个无数的空正见的无分别智，也就是所谓这个大乘这个五家五位中的这个无学位的菩萨，他才能看到这个受用身体，就是报身佛。要他的具足很成熟的体心才能遇到。而我们要能见到法身佛，你自己呢是必须已经成佛了。只有法身的智慧呢，才能见到法身佛。而上师呢，就完全不一样了。就像我们这个凡夫俗子这个身体，虽然我们正处在这个负面的情绪被烦恼所淹没，我们还可以直接接触到上师，你可以直接听到上师的声音，你也不需要戴个特别的眼镜，也不需要戴个特别的耳机，也不需要特别福报祈求到这个菩萨的警戒，你要凡夫的这个五官，这个五蕴呢，就可以直接接触到上师。因此呢，上师呢是极为的不可思议的珍贵的，它是跟你下到你这个同样的层次，让你听得懂，让你看得见，让你摸得到。所以呢，所以为什么我们说上师的恩德超过三世一切诸佛？
How many of you, or maybe all of you, do you regard yourself as a Buddhist? Yeah. So what defines, according with what Buddha have said, what makes you Buddhist? Compassion. Then there are many non-Buddhists also Buddhists. Nothing wrong being non-Buddhist, but what I mean, just to have basis of labeling that you are Buddhist, I am Buddhist. What is the definition of someone is Buddhist? So if you say compassion, practiced by all religion, or all faith, even non-believers also practice compassion. Any suggestion? Kindness. Yes, that also similar to what I said before. Buddhists, non-Buddhists, even free thinkers also practice compassion, kindness. Yeah. So, of course, here's many learned ones. You just stay quiet only. You know, when you study tenets, especially those of the practitioners who came from LDC, you're doing this extensive study of basic program. And you have studied that philosophical text called tenets. At the very beginning, on the first page, emphasize what defining Buddhist. And those treatises are based on Buddha's Paramita Sutra. Refuge. Having refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha differentiates whether you're Buddhist or not. Having refuge. in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So all of us, I think here, everybody, you claim you're Buddhist. Your family is a Buddhist family. But then many actually is not. When you really want to define by the definition what Buddha have said, then it's not qualified. So when you have refuge, when you have the refuge, to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then you officially become Buddhist. Now you have this tag. Yeah. So you know the answer. Yeah. Okay. Now, many of us, very much all who claim as a Buddhist, some tradition, their main altar. Some they don't have altar, some they have. So some have Kuan Yin, some have Amitabha, some have Vairocana, some have certain like Tara, Shakyamuni Buddha, Dhyani Buddhas, and some even place different gods, even worldly gods. Some even the main altar is ancestors. Yeah, but they claim they are Buddhists. Now, if I may ask, whatever object that you place on your altar, are you regarding that is your object of refuge? To relate the object of refuge. So if that's the case, then some of individuals, possibility they're taking refuge with the ancestor, and not with Buddha. Some of individuals taking refuge with the worldly gods, some generals, some protectors, worldly protectors. Then you're not taking refuge in Buddha, so you don't have refuge in Buddha. So you falsely claim that you are Buddhist. As mentioned earlier, Buddhist means you have refuge in Buddha. But then some of individuals, they may not aware. So let's say their main altar is Kuan Yin. So Kuan Yin has a Bodhisattva aspect, Buddha aspect. Even the Bodhisattva aspect is a 10 Bhumi Bodhisattva. Means still object of refuge. So if you have refuge in Kuan Yin, when you have refuge in Kuan Yin, can you claim that you have refuge in Buddha? As I mentioned before, Kuan Yin has the Bodhisattva aspect of Kuan Yin, also manifestation of enlightened compassion. So in Chinese tradition, Bodhisattva aspect. In Tibetan tradition, also got Bodhisattva aspect as well as got enlightened aspect. Kuan Yin generates about 100 over different emanations. But all are either Arya aspect or enlightened aspect. So let's say, when you say that I have refuge, I go for refuge to Kuan Yin, it is qualified saying that you went for refuge, you have refuge in Buddha? Yes. Amitabha, same. So any object is manifestations of the enlightened quality. Like Tara is enlightened qualities of what? Tara, Mother Tara, Tumu. Yeah, green Tara, white Tara, 21 Tara. Yesterday we did beautiful Tara Puja. So Tara is embodiment of Buddha's quality of activities. So if you go refuge to Tara, you are having refuge in Buddha. Like Zambala. Zambala. So this, what do you think? Because Zambala, some people have a different idea. If you know the real Zambala, then Zambala is also Arya Bodhisattva. It's an enlightened, Chenrezig's quality manifested into a Zambala for prosperity. So even when you go refuge in Zambala, you have refuge in Buddha. Then, here's outside here, there's one statue, marble statue called Namdose. It's also well dated. Namdose also, Tenbumi Bodhisattva aspect, is also enlightened quality manifested into wealth deity. Also claim that we go refuge in this, in the if you have refuge, if you go refuge in the Namdose, you can claim you have refuge in Buddha also. You see. Then medicine Buddha equally, medicine Buddha even emanated as a Buddha emanation. But again, it is the healing embodiment of the three-time Buddhas. So when you go refuge in medicine Buddha, you have refuge in Buddha. So like that. Then 8 different Bodhisattvas, like Tisang Pusa, then what? What you call? Wushen Pusa, then what? So there are many 8 Bodhisattvas, isn't it? Mila Pusa, Huaying Pusa, of course, including the Vajapani. So all these, have enlightened aspect as well as Arya Bodhisattva aspect. So going refuge, you have refuge in Buddha, you see, like that. So once I will discuss a bit more detail later in the afternoon session before the refuge ceremony, but just have a brief idea. Once you take refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, means once you become Buddhist, then you don't need any other worldly refuge. Some people misunderstand. So once you take refuge in Buddha, then you cannot take refuge in any other gods, spirits, nagas, ordinary people. It's kind of like how to say, limiting your access to different refuge, but actually it's not. No need, because you have the ultimate refuge. There's no greater object of refuge than the Buddha. The rest of all the others, even the worldly gods, even the nagas, even they may help you with the abundance of material gift, but they still carry the limitations of unable to give any protection and refuge from samsara, from karma, and guide to the enlightenment. You see, even the god, the god like Shiva, Indra, Brahma, and all the gods from the 33, the highest level of the selling existence, whether it's coming from desire God, formless God, they have a great power. They also bring great benefit. But when in relation to Buddhist practitioner, then they too are not object of your refuge. Because if you rely on them, they can lead you up to the tip of the selling existence, cannot lead beyond that. As a Buddhist, our ultimate objective, as we discussed before, is what? To become Buddha, isn't it? To become Buddha, isn't it? So if you want to go up to Buddhahood, then you need a guide, someone that who traveled there before and who can protect you from limitations and obstacles and guide you all the way up to there. You see, so therefore, once you take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then we're not supposed to take refuge in any worldly gods, spirits, nagas, ordinary human beings. So even later, when I confer the refuge precept, you are not taking refuge from me. You see, I'm just a preceptor. So here also need to be clear. You know, some of sometimes if not explained clearly, after taking refuge, that person become your guru, not necessary. You can choose refuge ceremony, taking of 8 minor precepts, taking of 5 lay vows. Can be a very favorable environment to establish guru-disciple relationship if you wish to regard someone as a guru. Then, if you choose those dharma events as a correct time, the correct environment to establish guru-disciple, then yeah, you can take the opportunity. But then, just taking refuge from somebody doesn't mean the person become your guru. That's why even in the text, it says Tsumba Gongsusa, Loben Gongsusa. There are 2 words. You see, so when you say Loben Gongsusa, then very much you are like very much the guru. Tsumba Gongsusa is very much the respective preceptor like that. You see, so you are taking refuge from Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Okay, from no one else, to nobody, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So we will discuss more about the qualities of the Buddha, meaning of Buddha. Extensive teachings can be done similar to the Dharma, similar to the Sangha. So I also thought to go through the sutra, remembering 3 jewels. The teaching is taught by Buddha and compiled by the great Indian Pandits, and it is the text translated into Tibetan language, maybe sometime around 8th centuries. So the sutra remembering 3 jewels. So emphasize different qualities of the Buddha. When we know the quality, then that's the reason why we go for refuge. But then again, this teaching, I think we may not be able to do by this afternoon, maybe tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Then there are some other sutras, composed by like Pashubandhu and some other great Indian Pandits. They are very beautiful sutras which emphasizing qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that is like more for broader understanding of our teacher, the Buddha, and the knowledge that we want to learn so much and realize it, the Dharma, and the community that we really want to be with, the Sangha, But, okay. So I think it's lunchtime. So Medha can deal with me because she already tortured her for a few years during COVID with the teaching, various teachings for audience from mainland China and some from other parts. So she have to initially, it's like cannot, like you have to be short, you have to be like that. So I say, okay, but then I forget. The thing is, if I don't continue to say, maybe that's the only time I can say, I remember to say. So, Be, isn't it? Be, you relax, don't worry. Okay? Never give up. You just enjoy because Medha is here. It's okay. Yeah.
刚才有一段来自于大家很重要，关系家庭，这点很重要。比如说我们今天这个闭关呢， 我们要让成佛成为可能呢，提升我们修行的考试加行、前行四大前行。这个是前行呢，是历代所有的传承上师都是依次修法，我们也效仿的同样这样开始。那么相信呢，这边有些人已经做过一些加行了。其实加行呢是要不断的重复的修而且前行的适合每个人的。那么前行这个修法的传统上呢，它需要这个灌顶、口传开始，藏文呢就是杭州市就是四大加行口传、加行传承教学。那么这个呢，我们这次呢，闭关式的修行呢，其实不只是开放式闭关修行了，可能是1、2天、3天。这3天中呢，包括教学、口传那么特别呢我们今天下午也会给这个3皈依给这个没有受皈依的人进入正式皈依仪式。那么其实我们这个家庭的所谓闭关是开放性的，也就是说一天，比如说如果你一天花5分钟的时间做过这个口传这个教学之后呢，一天需要5分钟左右的时间，用来意念佛法先3法开始，不会影响到你的日常的生活不会影响到你日常的这个生活叫开放性的闭关所以呢，这个我们将会以这种方式来做这个4加行的这个教学的闭关。那刚才呢，格西呢也问大家一个问题是不是佛教徒？有的弟子说是有这个慈悲心的人就是佛教徒。那么格西说呢，真正佛教徒的定义呢，当然是慈悲。所有的宗教呢都在修慈悲，甚至不修行宗教的人都会有慈悲心。那么除了这个慈悲之外呢，一个把这个佛教和非佛教分开来的是什么呢？就是皈依，是否有正式的皈依我们像在这个 LPC 来的这些朋友，如果你是学过这个佛学的这个哲学系，你在学中观呢这些佛学体系呢，可能对这个皈依呢有个很好的了解。那么，其实这个区分的关键呢，是否真正的皈依了佛法僧三宝？那什么才是算是佛教徒呢？这个其实很多真正已经皈依过佛教的人呢，他并没有成为真正的佛教徒当你正式受了皈依，佛法僧三宝作为你的皈依的对境，你就被贴上一个佛教徒，可以说是你这个贴上个佛教徒的标签。但是呢，我这个格西后来问大家比如说我们在我们的家里的佛堂中呢，有很多的佛像这个他问这个问题如果你的这个佛龛上有个观音的佛像请问你是不是皈依观音？那个答案是，对吧？如果说你皈依观音了，代不代表你也同时皈依佛呢？那么其实答案是的，因为这个观音呢，它有这个菩萨的这个观音像，也有佛的观音的显现。这个观音有两个面相，一个是菩萨像，一个是佛。所以呢，当我们皈依观音的时候呢，也就是说我们在皈依修净的以及世俗的菩萨和佛的2个层面所以我希问了这个问题。那么在汉传佛教中呢，观音呢多以菩萨像示现，而在藏传佛教中呢，这个观音呢既有菩萨像，也有这个具足的这个佛的这个佛像，像观音有108的化身有不同的这个化现。还有呢，像皈依度母、阿弥陀佛等等呢，它都是显现佛的这种菩萨像这个像度母是这个佛陀的事业的化身这个当你皈依度母的时候，也是在皈依佛 所以说格西就讲到说一个重点的问题啊，这个我们有的已经皈依的同修们，在家里的这个佛堂上可能还有一些其他的世间的这个神事就像土地公甚至祖先的这些照片。那么这边呢，格西就刚刚重点就提到说，一旦你皈依佛之后，我们就不需要再去皈依外道。那么世间的这些神事比如说这些其实它是它的能量，它是低于佛陀的。你皈依佛的时候，不是说不可以皈依，而是说你一旦皈依佛陀之后呢，你不需要再去皈依外道，不需要再去皈依这些比较低级的这些世间的神事所以这一点呢，也是说非常重要，就是说，如果你对佛，你真正受了皈依戒，代表对佛法僧三宝获得了这个独一无二的这种信心。那么，如果是这样的话呢，这个你就不需要去皈依外道。包括我们在这边呢，像财神，还有在外面的那个财神像，在这个珍宝觉心里，那个才是让民众的听友这个也都是具备这个三宝的一样的功能。所以这边呢，我们要这个认真的学会皈依学处，那么要懂得什么是皈依。那么今天格西刚刚有强调说，在下午的皈依这个皈依法会中，皈依这个仪式中呢，当你皈依是不是你皈依了这个上师，就一定要认这个皈依的师父为上师呢？有些说是并不是这样子。你可以，当你决心认这个上师为上师，也可以把你皈依上师作为上师，但是并不是强迫的，不代表说你因为你皈依最究竟的这个皈依上师代表三宝，代表佛陀的他的佛性的本质，所以你最究竟的皈依是皈依佛的本质。因此，必须要是你担心是否皈依了这个上师，这个上师就变成你，一定要变成你的上师。但是你可以选择这样做。所以我们今天呢，今天明天这个皈依的这个在这个开发型的法会中呢，会修复教学中呢，会详细的进入更多皈依学术的教学，包括呢这个如何的这个像种种的这些外境和内因外皈依内皈依种种不同的教学毕竟呢，我们身边有这个示范点，所以今天就在这边。
So there's a text note on the Mondo practice, especially in relation to refuge. I think already circulated through the WhatsApp to all of you. So when you are free, you read that note. So there's some points that I highlighted. So you can read them. Then if there's any clarification needed, you want to expand further understanding, then maybe later part when we do question answer, so you can bring into question and answer instead of me reading that again. It's already in the notes, so you can read them. And also there's a discussion session. So discussion sessions are led by those who already study well. They have the knowledge, so you can also ask, bring up any questions. As I mentioned before about refuge, it has to be very clear about this topic. Just now also you may find that I thought I'm Buddhist, but actually I'm not Buddhist yet because of not proper refuge. Even in your lifetime, have not taken refuge. But if you have taken refuge, the Mahayanic way in the past, then usually the refuge is for until achieving enlightenment. But the common refuge is only one lifetime. So once we pass away, then the refuge vow do not continue for future lifetime. We need to retake again. So, so anyway, you know, the refuge text is available. You know, I will time to time discuss about, you know, those commitments, you know, what to practice, what to adopt, what to abandon. But then again, all these things should be already quite familiar to everybody, one or another way. And if there's certain confirmation, clarity needed, you can discuss. You can openly discuss during the discussion session. And I think the discussion leaders can, you know, illuminate and clarify many. Then the certain thing that you want me to suggest, you can, you know, discussion leader or within the discussion, somebody, you know, can bring as a question during the question answer session. Okay, thank you. So now we offer the food offering. Yeah, we offer the food as a sock offering, also charity practice. Omo ahum, omo ahum, omo ahum. Lama sangye, lama che, deje lama gende. Kunje jebo lama de, lama namla jebai. Omo ahum, omo ahum. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
This afternoon we have 2 o'clock. Oh, we have 2 o'clock this afternoon. Is it 2 o'clock this afternoon, Gisela? 3 or 2? Sorry, is it 3 o'clock this afternoon, Gisela teaching?
No,
What time is Gisela teaching this afternoon?
I think it's later because we have the discussion session.
Yes, okay. Sorry, it's not 2. This afternoon is, I think it's 3, no? 3:30.
3:30, 3:30.
This afternoon, Malaysia time, 3:30. 3:30 this afternoon, we'll be online again. Thank you. 3:30 this afternoon.
Thank you very much.